Good morning. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my video. Just want to get that out the way because sometimes I forget to say it to the end. So, the whole reason for this video, and it's dark so that you can just focus on what I'm saying, not what I look like. And also, I'm doing some other stuff right now. So, anywho, the whole purpose of this video is to address the excuse me, the niggas ain't shit argument. Or I can't even say that the men ain't shit argument, because there are men from all walks of life that ain't shit, or that seem to not be shit, because of the way that they treat people in general, and the way that they treat the women in their lives or the men in their lives, and how they project and present themselves to the world. A lot of times, these men are going through something much deeper. And it should be obvious, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of people do not understand psychological issues, because most of us are not psychologists or psychiatrists or therapists or counselors. So we don't know, and we haven't been trained to identify different things when we meet people. We try to figure them out on the level that we are, and are forever confused. So, just to shed light on why it may seem like a lot of men aren't shit. A lot of them are going through emotional issues based on their childhood traumas. Now, in the case of most young black men that are, let's say, 35, 40 and under, a lot of these men came up during the crack era. A lot of these men came up during when, a lot of different things were changing in the world, and their families may have been affected by drug abuse. And a lot of these men did not have either their mother or their father, or both, in their home. There are a lot of men who've been in foster care and may or may not have had the greatest experience in that. There are a lot of men that were, maybe they weren't in foster care, but they were raised by another relative, like an aunt, uncle, grandmother. And a lot of these types of men, and this is not exclusive to black men, but we see it more often in the black community. I, for the most part of my life, have dated black men. I've dated men that were mixed, or mixed race, Puerto Rican, some mixed, Caucasian, but for the most part, I've been with black men. And so that's who I know I have the most experience with. But I'm pretty sure that men of other races go through different things, of course. But dealing with the fact that a lot of women, especially black women, feel like black men are not good. And of course they say niggas ain't shit. We know what the word nigga mean. That's another conversation for another day. But anyhow, a lot of these men have a lot of childhood trauma that they still haven't worked through. There may even be some trauma coming from their adulthood that still stems from the childhood trauma, because maybe they're still dealing with those people in their lives. It could also be that some of those people have passed away before they could rectify whatever that they did or didn't do. There may have been some conversations that needed to be had that never happened for them. Some apologies that they feel like they should have got that never happened for them. There were a lot of black men that were not in the home, still aren't. A lot of black mothers that were not in the home, still aren't, because of whatever their issues were, drug abuse, pandering after a man or woman, dealing with a whole nother family. Who knows? And you have to be mindful of this when dating. It's important to ask people about their past and who they are and what work they've done while you're dating them. Because what you don't want is to get into a relationship with one of these people and then now feel like you have to fix it, or that you're constantly dealing with this. You're always going to feel like there's something missing, or there's something that something else that they could give, but it's just not happening, or you'll end up feeling used because of them being emotionally unavailable sometimes and emotionally available others. They'll be there and everything will be high, like kind of like dealing with a bipolar person, if you will. 1 minute it'll be great and the next minute it'll be like, what the fuck just happened? Just know that normally when you're dealing with this, it stems from something much deeper. So they may be some shit. They may be a decent person. They may actually have great intentions. They may really want to love you. They may really love you. But if they cannot get through whatever's going on with them, look for them to lack accountability. Look for them to do and say immature things. Look for them to pick fights. Get really upset about something small, and magnify it to great proportions. Look for them to be insecure as fuck. Look for them to be jealous. Look for it to be like everything that you do will result in a Kiki Palmer situation, okay? Because of the fact of what they've already experienced. Also, men that have been traumatized by previous relationships. Again, it's important to talk about these things. I'm not saying that you gotta tell a person to go into this great detail, like, what they was doing, where they went, the sexual position. You don't even know all that. But it helps to know, about why your previous relationship ended, why that relationship ended. You have a child with this person. Why are you not with them? What happened? Because that will be very telling to let you know, are they the type of person that takes accountability? Are they the type of person that takes ownership? Did they tell you about their side and the other person's side, or did they just tell you about how terrible the other person was and they were just perfect? Like, you got to look for these types of things when you are meeting a new guy or dealing with the person, whoever that you're currently dealing with. If you're feeling any type of confusion or unsteadiness in your relationship, or while you're dating and getting to know somebody, there's usually something deeper there. And if you're dealing with a black man, you need to understand that there could be a lot in his past. So I said that to say this. I feel like some niggas really ain't shit. Some men, they came from, okay backgrounds, they cool, they had what they needed in their life or whatever, and they still not shit. But that's rare. Usually when it seems like they not whatever it is, baby, it's because something else went on. Now, that doesn't mean that they're off the hook. That doesn't mean that you say, oh, well, and that's what we'll do a lot of times as women. We'll make excuses for them. Well, his mama wasn't there, and his dad left when he was 2, and, his granny did this, and we make all these excuses for a person. that's still not trying to do the work on themselves. That's the part, ladies, that's the part where you have to exit. And even for men, if you're dealing with a woman, there's a lot of women that have emotionally been scarred by different things in their past, childhood or whatever. And again, this is regardless of race, all of that. But dealing with my people, you really got to be mindful of that. And don't allow it to become something that becomes your project now, because people are not there for you to work on them. We're supposed to work on ourselves. We're supposed to use our resources to work on ourselves. We're supposed to go to therapy. We're supposed to meditate, yoga, whatever the hell we have to do, go to church, to figure out what we need to be, and how to center ourselves, and how to figure out our issues and everything like that. That work is not for you to do. If you're dealing with someone that's like draining you in that way, get out. If you really care for them and you can't see yourself, going off whatever, try to encourage them to get some help or whatever. But if they're not doing that, you're going to have to sever ties at some point, because it's going to destroy you. You can be their friend if you want, but I would definitely not recommend being serious with them. Now, the work is an ongoing process, okay? Self-work is not linear. So there may be times that person that's working on themselves kind of goes a little up and down. There might be some times when you may see some different things in them as they're working on themselves. But are they working on themselves is the question. If they not, probably should let it go. But just because someone has went through something in their past that has molded them into something not so great, doesn't mean that they're just this terrible person. But it's still not for you to sit in and decide and fix and all of those different things. Let it go. If you recognize it and they don't seem like they recognize it, you can bring it up, you can address it, but still let it go. Y'all have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Make sure you like and subscribe. Toodles.